This is Gail Kovac for Gresham-Barlow School District. This is Summer School, High School Credit Recovery, Algebra 1B, and Learning Target number 3, I Can Evaluate Functions. So a function is kind of like a machine. It does a certain procedure to these values that you put in it, and it will spit out these one-to-one outputs. So the notation here looks like f of x. So the f function machine takes the input values of x and it performs this operation to your input x. That will get you your total output. In this case, it wants you to find what the function machine will do with a -1. It wants you to find f of -1. So this -1 value here is what we are putting in for the x value right here to find out what it will spit out as an answer once it multiplies it by -2 and subtracts 4. So we are going to rewrite the x with a -1 and do that computation with the -1. So let's start here with my f of -1. It will equal -2 times -1 minus 4. So instead of that x, you're putting this -1 right here in for x. So f of -1 will be equal to -2 times -1 subtract 4. So now you've got that inputted into your machine. The machine is always going to follow the order of operations. That's parentheses, then exponents, multiplication and division in order from left to right, and addition, subtraction in order from left to right. In other words, PEMDAS. So in this case, we've got two operations. We've got multiplication and we've got subtraction. So the multiplication is going to occur first. So first we're going to get the -2 times -1, and that gets you an answer of 2. Now we're going to have that -4 brought down. And 2 take away 4 is equal to -2. So in this case, f of -1 is -2. For this particular machine, if you input a value of -1, it will output a value of -2. Now let's try it for a slightly more complicated machine. This function machine takes the values of x, it subtracts 4, it finds the absolute value, it multiplies it by 3, and then it adds 2. Complicated machine. Let's see what output we would get if we input a 7 into this function. So in this case now I'm taking the 7 and I'm going to input that in for x right here. So let's rewrite this now with an x instead. All right, I want to find f now of 7. -3 times the absolute value of 7, take away 4, plus 2. And we're putting a 7 there in that blank space instead of x. All right. We got to follow the order of operations here to find out what's going to happen first. So within the realm of parentheses, sometimes we also call it G or GEMDAS to say that they are grouping symbols. The absolute value is included in that parentheses or grouping symbols. So whatever occurs in the parentheses, the absolute value here, that's what we're going to do first. So that will be 7 take away 4, and that'll get us now 3. Oops, wrong color. Here we go. That's going to get us a 3. But we still need to bring everything else down and do all of those other things. All right, so I've got 3 other things to do. I need to take the absolute value, I need to multiply by -3, and I need to add 2. So let's do that absolute value of 3 first. So if you recall, the absolute value is just asking how many steps a number is away from 0 on the number line. And 3 is 3 steps away. It's a distance. Even -3 also is 3 steps away from 0, just happens to be in the other direction. So -3 and +3, they both have an absolute value of 3. 3 is 3 steps away from 0, so we'll do that part next. All right, let's rewrite all the other stuff. We've got -3 times, and then +2. All right, 2 operations left. I'm going to do this multiplication first, because that's first with PEMDAS. I already did green. Let me pick a different color. Let's pick red. Here we go. All right, -3 times 3, that is -9. Then I'm going to do that last little operation here of +2, and -9 plus 2 gets an answer of -7. So lo and behold, all at the end, the machine will do a lot of hard work, but eventually it'll turn that input value of a 7 that you put in into a -7 output. So this is the correct notation for function notation. You're showing your input value and your output value into the function machine for both of these.